What's up, guys? Miguel here, aka Torrent. We're coming back with another product review. Voltme reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in reviewing their product line, the Hypercore series. I said yes, I would totally be interested in reviewing your product. Little did I know that they were going to send me over the whole product line to review. So I'm totally excited to get into this. We're going to get only into an unboxing to what these actually look like and how they feel. Going over a couple of specs, and then in a later video I'm actually going to put them through their paces to see how good they are as far as being power banks. Full disclosure, they did send me these products free of charge. No money was exchanged for this video, so the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and Voltme will see it when I upload it to the internet, just like you. So let's get into an unboxing. Let's see what we got here. I'm pretty excited to see what they sent me. All right, guys, we're back. So let's get into this. This is actually going to be a blind reaction. I haven't looked up these at all on the internet to see what they look like. Besides knowing that they're all 10,000 milliamp hour batteries, that's all I really know about them. So we are going to get into, let's open them up and see what they're about. All right, so let's try this one. I mean, we obviously know what this one's going to look like. So I gotta say, I really like the Voltme logo. I love how you guys did it. That's definitely a plus. So let's take a look at the packaging really quick. All right, so it's got PD 3.0, included USB-C to USB-C cable, 22.5 watts, 10,000 milliamp hours, ultra thin. So let's take a look. All right. So, standard packaging. We got the USB-C, USB-C cable in here. Let's just take a quick look at the cable. Small cable. No zip tie, kind of like that. That's actually pretty nice because it's nice and small. Sometimes you just need a small cable to charging. And again, you won't need too much of a powerful cable because this is only going to support 22 watts of charging. All right, so you got your standard instruction booklet, welcome guide, 10K power essential, beautiful. Let's put that to the side. And let's take a look. All right, so first impressions, very smooth, very sleek. Again, I really love your guys' logo. Nice and thin, nice and light. We got the power. So you got USB-C-A and USB-C. Pretty standard. Feels good, nice and thin for 10K. Awesome. All right, so let's go over to the power bank. Hypercore 10K Pro. That's a nice zoom in of all that you get over there. Oh, I didn't even notice that it was deep blue. All right, that's awesome. It does. I didn't know that they came in different colors. Let's take that off, put it to the side. All right, same type of packaging. Get a thank you. We get the instruction booklet, and we get another USB-C cable. Let's put that to the side. We're not going to open that one again. Aha. All right, so this one is more my speed. That's pretty nice. So this one feels completely different. Let me get this one back in the picture over here. So this one feels completely different. So this is kind of like a matte, this is kind of like a matte finish to this. And the part here, so this part around here feels like this part. Feels like this one is completely made out of, and this one's got like a nice rubbery texture to it. So I see that you have USB-C-A here at the back, and then you have the USB-C here, and then the same power button, which indicates you got 4, so I'm guessing 25% each light here. This one is more my speed. I can tell you that right now, so far of the bunch, just because, and here you go, 10,000 at, let's see if I get that, 10,000 at 30 watts, just because of how small it is. Now, again, these both are 10,000 milliamp hour batteries, so you could see the size difference. And I'm loving the blue. I think the blue looks really nice. All right, let's get into, this one just has 10K power bank, also deep blue. I'm loving the deep blue lineup. Man, this is really exciting. I do enjoy this a lot. I was not expecting this Voltme, so thank you for sending me this. Again, we have the USB cable, USB-C cable, which I'm assuming that they're all the same. This one has the instruction booklet and the welcome guide or the thank you underneath that. So let's put that here to the side. Same packaging. Oh man. It's like these two had a baby and this is what it came up with. That's exactly what this is like, right? So the texture is this. The texture is of this one on this. That feels awesome. And then the thinness of it is this. So it almost keeps getting better, right? So this one's kind of big, and I'm not saying it's bad, but it's kind of on the bigger side. And again, these are all 10,000, right? So it's on the bigger side, and then we go to short and stubby, which is also 10,000, but this one feels a little more premium, a little bit better. And then we get this one, which is kind of like a little combination of both. Now, it is a little bigger, obviously, but it's thinner. So do you want something fat and stout, or do you want something like almost a credit card type of scenario? That's tough. This is like this is like one, and again, we get the 4 batteries, the USB-C-A and the USB-C. So this is kind of like Voltme is catering to your preference at this point. Let me zoom in a little bit. Voltme is pretty much saying, hey, we've got a power bank for anybody that, whatever your need is. So I'm curious, is it going to be all 3 that have a baby with this one? Let's take a look. All right, so this is the 10,000K sling, all right? All right, so let's open this up. Same type of packaging. Yeah, same type of packaging. Now we got, again, the welcome and the thank you. We got the USB-C cable. That's all the same. And let's open this. All right. All right. Okay. This is obviously a little different here. Ooh, man, I really do like this finish. This finish is really, really nice. It's got a nice texture to it. So what is going on here? So is this just a holder? You got the USB-C-A, USB-C, USB-A, and USB-C. You got the 4 lights. Okay. Ah, man. All right. So it's like it just kept getting upgraded. We went from the kind of basic one, right? We went to the short and stocky one, which is still really nice. Then we went to the slim and powerful one. And then we ended up with, now are these the same size? They are it's a tiny bit bigger and a tiny bit thicker, but essentially almost the same size. But now you've included a USB-C cable that came along with it. Again, These are all amazing. Truthfully, the texture, I can't. I mean, you could tell that I keep rubbing it because this texture does feel really nice on your hands. I can't keep saying that enough. All right, so let's get into a couple of specs with this. Maybe I'll put some specs up on the screen, and then we're gonna talk about these specs, and then we're gonna get into what they look like, or what exactly we're getting here. Starting here with the top left, this is the Voltme Hypercore 10K Pro. It's compact. It has a 10,000 milliamp power bank with a 30-watt USB-C port for fast charging. And then it has a 22.5-watt USB-A port. It supports all the big charging protocols like PD 3.0, so it works with most, if not all, devices. It recharges in about 2 hours with a 30-watt charger. You have a 4-dot LED battery indicator. You have a texture grip so it won't slip, and it's built-in protection from overheating and overcharging. It is obviously TSA approved, fits in your pocket, and weighs less than 200 grams. So simple, reliable, and ready to go wherever you go. So here on the bottom left, we have the Hypercore 10K Essential. It is also a 10,000 milliamp power bank with a 20-watt USB-C port and then also an 18-watt USB-C-A port. It supports all the fast charging protocols, so work with most phones and accessories. And you get a simple 4-dot LED battery indicator. The body is slim, lightweight, designed for everyday carry, also TSA approved, and it comes in just under 180 grams. Pretty perfect for daily use. No extra stuff, just power whenever you need it. All right, coming third on our list, and one of my favorites, is the 10K Sling. This one's also 10,000 milliamp hours. This one comes in actually with a built-in USB-C cable, which I absolutely love. This cable is capable of delivering 20 watts input and output, means that it charges and recharges at 20 watts. It also is listed as having quick charge on it. Also, you get a USB-A port, which charges up at 18 watts of output, and you get another USB-C port that is also capable of charging and recharging, so in and out charging at 18 watts. The total weight for this one is 220 grams, which is nice. It's also TSA compliant. And again, having a built-in cable eliminates the need for any other cable for you to travel with. So definitely one of my favorites is this one. And last but not least, we're coming in with the Voltme Hypercore 10K. This is the OG. This is also coming in at 10,000 milliamp rated capacity. It has a USB-C port, both for input and output, coming in at 20 watts. It also has an additional USB-A port that charges at 18 watts. It does have overcurrent protection, and it is TSA approved. And it comes in about 180 to 220 grams. We're going to do some real testing today. I have drained every single one of these power banks to 0. They no longer give charge. And we are going to plug them in. We're actually going to use the Anker 250 Prime over there. We're going to plug them in via USB-C. And we're going to time it to see how long. One, we're going to see how many watts it takes to charge them, how much they pull. And we're going to see how long it takes. I'm pretty sure that the Prime Anker has enough power or juice, 250 watts, to do all 4 at the same time. But we're going to plug them in one at a time, and we're going to see what kind of wattage we get with them. So let's start. You can see it in the back reconfiguring. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get we're going to get 20 watts per device. So I'm just going to plug them all in, and then we're going to see if anything does anything different here. There we go. So we got them all plugged in. Let's see what happens. We got one of them not working. Look, this one's working here. Or is it this one? Yeah, this one is working. All right. Charging. Looks like the this one here isn't charging. Maybe now. Great, fantastic. Now we got all of them. So it does look like, all right, so let's zoom into the anchor really quick to see what kind of power we're getting. I don't know if I can focus too well over there. All right, well, kind of see it. Okay, all right, so the first one is this one, the power bank. That is pulling a command line 27.5 watts of charging. Pretty awesome. The second one is this one with USB or the USB-C built into it, and that's pulling 18 watts, or all the other ones are pulling 18 watts. Well, you can see. So 18, 17, 18. So this one would be the one pulling the 17 right now. So 17 on this. So far, this one is the one that has the better charging. All right, let's zoom out. Oh, let's hit start. Okay, well, we're a little behind on that one. All right. All right, so we got a little bit of a charge before I would say maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So we'll just discount that. So we're gonna let this run. We're pulling a total of 80 watts on all 4 of them. We're gonna see how long it takes to get every single one of them to get to 100%, and then we'll do some more testing to see what they charge at. All right, we'll be back. Thanks, guys. All right, we are at 34 minutes, 34, 38, and we got everyone a little bit hot. The only one that looks like it's in the lead is obviously the one that's charging at 30 watts, but yeah, so we're still on the first, each one of these has 4 lights, so I'm assuming it's going to be 25% for each light to get to 100%. So the only one working on the second light is the power bank. It is obviously charging faster at 30 watts, 29.7, as opposed to everything else at 20 or 17. So we do see over there also on the anchor or on the prime that it says 17 across the board. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, so we got 29, 17, 17, and 18. So, cool. All right. So based on this, it looks like it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a while to charge. I mean, if we're at 35 minutes, I'm going to guess. I mean, we'll see at what time the other light goes on. But if it's going to, I'm going to guess an hour every 25%, which puts this at 4 hours to charge all of them to about 100. That's going to be my guess. So we're going to see where the second button comes in, or the second light comes in as, or and then we'll do it. I don't know if we'll we'll keep recording for 4 hours, but we'll get an estimate of what that is. All right, we'll be back in a half hour. Bye. All right, guys, and we're back at the hour mark. So let's see what is going on here. Okay. All right. So we got the big power bank. Well, not big, but the most powerful of them all. We're working at the 75% or the 4 blinking lights. However, the charge over there in the back did reduce from 30 or 29 watts to 17.5, which is typical behavior for any type of power bank. At first, when they're completely drained, it's full power, and then once they get closer to 100%, the less wattage that they get. So he's working on 75%. It trickled down to 17.8, I believe that's what it says in the back. So far at an hour. So this puts this bank probably around the 2 hour mark ish. Maybe the 3 hour mark ish to charge, because it really is going to depend on the other, how fast the other 50% charges. So anyway, 50% definitely in an hour, maybe an hour to 2 hours for the remaining 50%. So let's take a look at the other ones. I was hoping that the other ones were working on their 50%. So they are blinking at the 50%. So that doesn't mean that they have 50% charge. That means that they haven't gone up to the next degree. So I only consider when the third one is flashing is that they've surpassed the 50%. The second one flashing means that they haven't reached it yet. The wattage in the back is all still the same, 17, 17, and 18. And yeah, so it's been an hour and they're not quite at 50%. So I'm gonna guess, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with these behaviors. If this is consistently 17.5 watts that it's going to charge at, then I'm going to guess that this is going to take about 4 hours. These three are going to take about 4 hours to charge. However, if it does the same behavior as this guy, which is after they reach 50%, they throttle, we might be looking at longer for these guys. So we're really going to have to wait until they surpass the 50% mark and they start working at the 75% mark to see what kind of wattage they get. So we're going to run it for another hour. I think another hour is going to tell us what we really need to know. It's going to give us an idea of this big guy that's kind of in the lead. I believe this one was the second one that got that blinking second light, and then this one and this one followed. So it's going to get the next hour is going to tell us what is going on with this. So I think I'm just going to check in the next hour. I don't think I'm going to do a 30-minute mark, and we'll take it from there. All right. See you guys in an hour. Bye. All right, guys. We're pushing the 2 hour mark. We got 3 more minutes for the 2 hour mark, and we're just going to give an update. All right. So the power bank, this one here, looks like it's completed. It's reading 0 over there on the charger. So this one took about, again, I'm not sure if it took 2 hours. I'll have to review the footage, but full capacity, we're looking at around 2 hours, at least 1.5 to 2 hours for full capacity. It did throttle at some point, but that's expected. It is obviously warm to the touch, but it's doing pretty good. Coming in second is going to be this one with the cord. This one is still pushing 16 watts of power of charging, and it's working on the last uh, nodule, I guess, the last 25%, which I'm sure that it's going to finish within, a little while. So it's definitely going to beat out these two, and I'll tell you why. So I'll leave this one charging. So the third one here, this one's actually doing the worst. This one is working on its third nodule, so it still does. Let me try to bring it here a little bit more to see. So it still has two nodules to go through. So it's at 50%, it's working on the 75%, still has 100% to go to, except it's throttled down its wattage to 5.3 watts. So it's gone down from 17 watts down to 5.3 watts, which so far is the lowest one. This one here is in the same boat where it is working on the 75% nodule and still moving still needs to move to the 100% nodule, but this one is still pushing 13 watts. So it has also reduced from 17 down to 13. So as expected, they throttled. I didn't know that they were going to throttle this much, but at 5.3 watts on this one, at 50%, I mean, you're looking probably another hour or two at least of charging to get this one to 100%, and also this one pretty much another hour or two. So I'm not going to record the whole hour or two of this, but this kind of gives you a really good idea on how fast these are. Again, these two took a commanding lead. These two items took a commanding lead. Also, and again, these are all 10,000 milliamp hour batteries. So yeah, this was real world testing. This was, draining them from 0 to 100. I am going to leave them charging. I do want them to get to 100. I might just post the final, clip it of them at 100. And then we're going to drain an iPhone 16 Pro Max, and we're going to see what the charging capacities on these are. We're going to see how many wattage of output we're going to get on the iPhone. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Bye. Okay, guys, we are back. All right, so they finally finished charging. I stopped counting at 2 hours, but it's been an hour and a half after the initial timer. So we stopped it around 2. It's 5:26. So it's been an hour and a half, and I'll give you the progress. So this one finished shortly after. These two are kind of in the same boat as about 2 hours from 0 to 100% charged. Then this one took third place, and the last one coming in at, what is it, 3.5 hours was this device here. So this one was the very last one to stop charging on it. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take these, and we're going to have my iPhone 16 Pro Max here. It is at 20%, not that you can see because it is not autofocus. There you go. Anyway, you can see 20%. Oh, right here on the screen. 20% full. This should be enough to trigger the full capacity, the full charging speed of the iPhone. And just to test, so this is port number 1, right here on port number 1. So I'm going to plug this in, and this should get a 27 to 28 charging potential on that. So let's just zoom in, go up here, and obviously let's take off the autofocus, and there we go, 27 watts. So I'm going to unplug it. So it is triggering, being at 20%. It does trigger the fast charging on the iPhone. And why does that matter? Because now we're going to connect all these to the iPhone, and we want to see what type of wattages we're going to get out of this, right? All right, so let's start with the loser of the bunch. We're going to unplug all these, push it to the side. Okay, we're going to see. All right, we're going to plug this in. Now, these power banks are marketed towards iPhones, iPhones and phones in general. So right here, we're hitting 21 watts, 20 watts. And it looks like it's stable at 21 watts. Let's focus a little bit here. There you go. All right. So not too bad. Actually, not too bad at all. 27 watts is the fast charging speed. 20 watts. And this is the one who took forever to charge. Actually, we're going to leave this plugged in on this side, and then we're going to go to the next one. All right. So this is number third, the one that comes third in place. Third place. All right. Let's see what we're getting here. Well, again with the 21 watts, which is pretty good. I'm expecting all of them to have at least 21 watts, so we'll see how this goes. All right, let's uncheck this. Now this one has a cable on it. So we're going to do, with this one, we're going to do two tests. We're going to do one with the cable and one with the USB-C port. We want to see what we're getting with the USB. So let's do USB-C port first. So plug that into the phone. See if there's any difference with that. USB-C. Let's see what we're getting here. You know, one thing I have to say, it stabilizes at 21 really quickly. A lot of devices that I've tested before they fluctuate. They go up and down, 20, 21, 22. This one's just 21. There you go, 20, 21, and that's what you get. All right, so that is getting 21. Now, give me a second. We're going to need a little device here. I'm going to plug this into the iPhone, and then we're going to use this, the USB-C that comes with, plugged in. Let's see what we get with that. That's 1.5 amps, and this one's reporting 17, 19, 20. It's going up there. So that's the voltage. That's the amps. And we're at 19-ish. So same output, about same output, 20. There you go, 22 we saw really quick. So it's about the same output as, so there's no difference between this USB-C and this USB-C. It gives out the same amount of wattage, which is beautiful. All right, and now we are going to go for the winner, the guy who charged the quickest. So, and the smallest, but the fattest of the bunch. We're going to plug this in. Let's see what we get here. Somehow I knew that this guy was going to 29. This guy was going to max out the fast speed 30. So I kind of thought that just because he was the quickest, we charged him at 30 or 29:30 or 27:30, and that's what he's going to give out. So this guy here is going to give you the fastest charge for the iPhone, or for probably any phone. Actually, I'm not any phone. Correction. This I think only goes up to 30. So if you have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it would be perfect for this. So awesome. So there you have it. Now, I get a question a lot of, who are these for? Well, give me a second. Okay, so I get a question a lot on who are these power banks meant to, who are these for? What is the best power bank to get? Which one should I buy? Torrent, you test a whole bunch of power banks. In your opinion, which one's the best for you? Which one's the best out there? So what I'm going to leave you with is that's actually kind of really personal question. Um, it really depends on your use case, right? It really depends on what you use these for. And I think that's what Voltme was going for this. This is each one of these, it's not good or bad. It's just each one of these serves a different purpose for a different user. And that's really and that's really the point of these reviews is to understand what these devices are capable of. So this way, when you buy it, you're not left feeling that you got tricked in some sort of way. And that really what comes down to it, because some people might like the thinner big one, or the one that has the built-in cable, or people don't like built-in cables and maybe they like the smaller, stockier one, or they maybe don't like either one of these and go for a nice in between that. The point is that you really have to analyze your use case on how you're going to use these, where you're going to use these, and exactly how you're going to use them and which one fits, how you're going to use this. So I hope that explains a lot. I will then, this was I really enjoyed reviewing these. Again, I have to shout out to Voltme for sending them. I think they're perfectly great uh, power banks. And again, they all have different use cases, and I really did enjoy reviewing these. So again, if you guys like the comment, you can find affiliate links down there if you want to throw me a couple bucks for buying these, or just even better, just give me a thumbs up on the video, leave a comment, a like, or even a mean comment would do. So anyway, guys, I appreciate every one of you. You guys have a good one. Bye now.